Hello, berries. Today we'll be talking about a very ambitious idea of mine. I know that nothing will really come into fruition, and in the end, behavior decides what to do. I've seen plenty of people talk about how to improve the game, how to balance it out, and mainly how to buff or debuff certain killers. If you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, is that next week a PTB will be coming. One of the main changes that are coming in this PTB is that Behavior has decided to buff Trickster. Now, if any of you are interested in these patch notes, feel free to enter the Dead by Daylight official forums. Everything is written on there. And what saddens me is that Behavior went and buffed a killer that came out ever so recently. Yes, Trickster is in a bad spot, and I think that even after the buff and changes, he is still going to lack in very specific scenarios. But what so surprises me is that over this past year, Behavior has focused all the wrong killers. They have changed Huntress's add-ons, they have fiddled with Freddy Krueger, they have fiddled with Demogorgon, and the thing is that all of these killers were actually being played. People used them. I know that Freddy used to be abysmal, and that his win rate was insanely high due to his passive add-ons that slowed the game down. And I agree that those add-ons needed to be tinkered with, but I think there are much more pressing matters to attend to. Killers that are completely outdated with today's DBD. With maps like Gideon Meat Plant that have 30 pallets and Fractured Cowshed that is loop into loop, it begs the question where the killers like Legion, Pig, Myers, and Trapper are standing right now. Because, as I can see it, these killers cannot, for the slightest, handle these maps. And essentially, I want to come up with a series maybe that is all about thinking how to improve different killers. Like, for example, today I'm quite interested, and I have a few ambitious ideas on how to maybe buff Myers accordingly. Myers has always been this killer with zero expression with his body, with his face, and he was always creepy. And he does provide this vibe. I think that Myers should be a bit more relentless. I don't know if any of you have seen, the movie Halloween was released a couple of years or 3 years back, where Myers was literally hit with a crowbar in his face and just immediately recovered and started attacking the guy. You don't feel that much relentless energy from Myers. And I think that, generally speaking, he's just a bit outdated. His tier 1 is his biggest hindrance. All he gets with his tier 1 is the undetectable status effect. But the thing that you give in return is 10% speed. Myers is 105% speed in his tier 1, and he also has no lunge, making tier 1 just the worst power ever, because first of all, you can't go back to tier 1 even if you wanted to, and second of all, the fact that you're so slow makes it hard for you to stalk survivors, because you need to gain up on them, get them very close in order to be able to stalk them faster. And tier 1 is nothing but a slowdown for Myers, and I don't get why. It's almost a necessity nowadays to play him with Lethal Pursuer or with Corrupt Intervention. Now, I think that in tier 1, Myers should be at least 110%, and just give him a normal M1 killer lunge. I think then people might be compelled to actually play him a little bit in tier 1 before trying their damnedest to leave that tier. I've never met anyone that wants to stay in that tier, unless if they're playing Scratch Mirror Myers in a closed map. So, in summary, I think that tier 1 should be 110% and a normal killer lunge. Maybe then you can actually play a sneaky type of Myers. When you get up to tier 2, you do in fact gain your 5% speed, now you're 115%. I do like the idea that he does vault windows a little bit faster in tier 2. And I think that with each tier, Myers should be more relentless. In tier 2, that he's gonna have like he's gonna be breaking pallets like, I don't know, 10% faster, 15% faster, that he will recover from stuns 25% faster from pallets. Making Myers actually a good killer if you combine perks like Enduring and Brutal Strength on top of it. You want to feel that he's a bit relentless. You want to feel the evil that is Michael Myers. You know, that he doesn't stop until he kills you. That sort of like relentless behavior. And maybe a like slight increased lunge in tier 2. That could be interesting. Like the lunge that he has right now in tier 3, give it to him in tier 2 without the insta-down effect. That'll make survivors need to measure their distance with Myers in tier 2 a bit better. And maybe with like this built-in mini enduring and this built-in like brutal strength, you might be able to make the map barren for the late game, and that is pretty good. On his tier 3, I think that Myers should be able to stay in that form for 75 seconds. 60 seconds seems to be very, very little. Because, well, once you get to your tier 3, the problem is that survivors tend to hide a lot. And they're just gonna wait out your power. While other killers that have the exposed effect on survivors choose when to trigger it, like Ghostface, that he chooses when to unleash it, and he only unleashes it on one survivor, so you don't feel like your power is being wasted. Another recommendation is to have Myers, while he's in tier 3, to actually not like have his power maybe diminish slower while he's carrying survivors. Because the main problem with Myers is that you feel compelled to slug. So anyway, maybe if they make Myers' power waste slower while he's carrying someone, you might be compelled to use perks like Agitation or Mad Grit or Iron Grasp. And then Basement might even prove a bit more useful, you know? Just open Myers up to more opportunities this way. In addition to that, the main thing I've learned personally, like when I played Myers in Red Ranks, is that the best perk for him, the best chasing perk for him is play with your food. And because Myers has a very big problem delivering his insta down, his stab attack in tier 3, because all he has is a slightly bigger lunge and a faster window vault. He breaks pallets the same speed. He still gets stunned and doesn't recover any he doesn't recover any faster. I think maybe like an increased speed in tier 3, maybe like a 5 increased speed. Make him a 4.8 killer, yeah, 120%. Even if they debuff play with your food accordingly, I would still think that will be nice. You might feel like you don't need to use play with your food. Like for me, someone in Red Ranks, I found that perk is most useful because say you bring nowadays Brutal Strength or Enduring on Myers. Sure, they stun you with a pallet, and then maybe you break it faster with Brutal Strength, but by then they still find another pallet. Let's say you map like Fractured Cowshed or Gideon Meat Plant. Those perks that allow you to overcome pallets, they're still not enough because the density of pallets is so high. With play with your food, there's actual some sort of mind game. You might be able to, due to your speed, pressure survivors to jump through the pallet and then meet them on the other side. You know, stuff like that. So if Myers just had a 5% increased speed maybe in tier 3, or his tier 3 would have lasted longer, that could have been so much cooler. But all of this is just my ideas. Maybe you guys have better solutions for how to buff Myers. I don't think it needs to be that crazy. I don't think it needs, you know, these ideas are just so simple, and they would portray what that killer is really like. His relentless mentality, his aggressive behavior. You really want to feel it, like he doesn't stop no matter what. Even in the older movies, if you, I don't know if any of you have watched them, where Myers legitimately got shot in the head, and you still see him flailing his knife around. He just doesn't die. Make us feel like he's an unstoppable force of nature. That's what I want Myers to feel like. Well, that's all I've got. I hope you guys enjoy this game footage behind, where you can see all the nuances, all of Myers' strengths and weaknesses in his current state. And just tell me, like, would you guys not prefer these changes to be implemented? Maybe you guys have even better, more ambitious ideas. I would really love to read them in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully, we'll get a better Myers in the future. About to die. That's great. I'm gonna lose her. I'm gonna moonwalk in order to get my my play with your food stacks. That's one. That is great. That's perfect. Okay. Spinal resilience. That's perfect for me. Loser once again. Gain my third stack. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. Just stand right there. Let me keep stalking you. Nice. Ah, damn it. What a shame. It's alright. I can get my stack once again back. Ooh. I'm just playing with her right now. I'm way too ambitious. The game is over. Because Jin Lee cannot do two gens like that. This Jill is going to die. Yeah, I told you. I just really want to grab her to have my 3 stacks. Jin Lee did that gen, doesn't really matter. The game is already over. Hatch is right here. I've got 10% speed, but RNG is dicking me over right now. Maybe I can make it, who knows. If I walk like this, I think I might be able to. Yeah, I think I got it. With a 10% increased speed from play with your food. Sure, I can do it. I see you. GG, well played. And that's why play with your food is one of the best perks on Myers. And it's only it's he might be one of the very few killers that benefits from this perk. That's why I'm saying, if they add this as base kit, this'll be great. Nada was trying to do the adept. Shame. They got also a very good map. A very favorable map for them. I had a lot of fun, even though it's Haddonfield. Actually, I sucked. It's okay. I could potentially even... I might also main Myers if they... If they just... update him. He needs an update. That's all. That's all there is to it. Amazing killer. A lot of fun. And... I don't think there's a better killer to describe immersion, right? You feel really immersed into the game, really immersed into what it's like being this terrifying killer that you see in the movies. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.